3 years ago, I opened a real engine for the very first time.
No experience, no idea what I was doing. Today, the same project has grown into an open-world platformer all about exploration. Let me take you through the journey, from cubes and broken mechanics to a living world that feels like stepping inside an anime. Making a game isn't just about the game, it's about life. When I started this project, I was just a beginner with time on my hands. Tennis, video games, and nature. Swiss Alps, what a wonderful place. The first version of my game looked honestly terrible. A wonderful custom character running on floating tubes, falling through holes every 10 seconds.
But that prototype was everything. It proved me that I could make something playable.
And when you're starting from zero, even getting a cube to move feels like magic. I spent days just figuring out how to make gravity feel right or how to stop the player from get stuck in the ground. Every tiny fix felt like a victory. Then my life changed forever. My daughter was born. From that moment, everything shifted. And strangely, her arrival gave me a new kind of motivation. Every line of code, every new level, feels like building something not just for myself, but for the future she's growing into. Once I had the basics, I started adding ideas faster than I could finish them. Double jumps, a very ugly wall climb style, stealth, NPC enemy, melee combat, even hunting deers that never truly worked. Most mechanics got cut, but through all the failed experiments, one thing stayed: exploration. I didn't want a linear path. I wanted a world players could get lost in. Every mechanic I kept had to answer one question. Does it make exploring more fun? And where we will be exploring? The best moment to think about that was on our hikings in our Swiss Alps. And walk in a place like this feels like being in a cartoon. It reminds me of something. Oh yeah, Heidi. One of the first works of the Ghibli master, Hayao Miyazaki. This clearly led to a single possible stylistic choice. After months staring at great cubes, I knew it was time to give the game a soul. I turned to my biggest inspiration, Studio Ghibli. Soft light, hand-painted skies, colors that feel warm and nostalgic. I wanted players to feel like they were stepping into a Ghibli masterpiece. Of course, translating that style wasn't easy. Too realistic and it lost charm. Too simple and it looked cheap. I spent weeks just painting trees and testing lightning until it finally clicked. When the placeholder tubes turned into a medal for the first time, I actually sat back and just stared. Amber is growing so fast. It feels like every week she learns something new. She took her very first step outside in the garden, right in the middle of a spring rain. And later, she discovered the magic of her very first snowfall. Next came the main character, the heart of the game. Designing her was tougher than unexpected. Her had to be expressive enough to guide the story, but simple enough to animate across a giant open world. I scraped entire designs that felt too stiff, too robotic, or too generic. In the end, I landed on something that feels alive. A character that can run, climb, and explore the world with the same curiosity I hope players will feel. My daughter is now 2. Some days, she steals my keyboards while I'm coding. Other days, I stay up past midnight just to get one more line of code in. It's exhausting, but it's also the most rewarding balance I have ever had to find. This game has grown up alongside her. Today the game has grown into something I never thought I could create. It's no longer cubes, it's valleys, forests, and hidden paths. Players can climb cliffs, discover shortcuts, and stumble into places they weren't supposed to find. That's the core of the experience. Curiosity rewarded. And even though there is so much to polish, I finally feel like I'm exploring a real world.
If there is one thing I've learned in these 3 years,
Is that progress doesn't happen in big leaps. It happens in tiny, consistent steps. I failed more times than I can count, but every late-night bug fix, every broken prototype brought me closer to this game. And if you are making something yourself, don't stop. Small steps matter. The goal is to complete the first full map and make it playable for anyone interested. I want players to step into this world, explore it, try the first step of Destiny's story and share their thoughts. This is not just about polishing, it's about seeing if the concept really resonates.
Your feedback will shape how the game grows from here.
Let me know what do you think, it means a lot. Thank you for following along with this adventure. Stick around, because the best part of this journey are still ahead.